May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2017. And this is Steve. I'm in my truck, Flynn, driving on the 5 on my way up to Paso Robles. So my daddy, Richard, he died this morning, or this afternoon, about 1:40 p.m. in Templeton, near Paso Robles. He was in his 85th year. You would say he was 85. He'd be 85 in October 28th. But if you count the time of the womb, he was 85. Anyway, I'm just thinking about some things. You know, he was 85. I mean, he was also 15. And what I mean by that was, when we visited last week, a couple times I was on the sofa and I felt like a fly in the back of my neck. It was my dad just messing with me. And did it again. What the heck? My dad. 15 and fun. Yeah, I left work at 10:30 this morning because I got the news by text that Dad had been taken to the hospital, spitting up blood this morning, and blood pressure dropping. The nurses said, "Hey, if he stops breathing, do you want us to resuscitate?" And Dad had, his wishes was DNR, don't resuscitate, and his wife, Trudy, my mom, she was gonna comply with it. So I got on the road probably about, sometime after that, stopped home, and then when I stopped at McDonald's to get the Wi-Fi, I got the news. Paul texted me that he had died around 1:40. So I've been doing my grieving, bits and spurts, crying, sobbing, but I also been doing some praying and just thanking Jehovah for my dad's 85 years of life. I mean, he had quite a life. He had a good life. Everybody has a good life, but his was unusual. Weightlifting, hanging out at Derek's gym with bodybuilders who got into the movies later and very, very, very famous. Working at a dynamite factory, working at a tire factory, making tires, working at a cannery, doing prison time in a federal penitentiary for refusing. And by the way, I am proud of him for this. In fact, I have my uncle served in the military during Vietnam, and I respect him for that. My father refused induction into the military for the Korean conflict, and I respect him for that. Both those paths took bravery. Anyway, I could go on, but I just want to say I've been thanking Jehovah and for my dad's life. I've heard before, they have a funeral and they call it a celebration of life. I thought, that's not a celebration of life. It's a funeral. I get it now, because that's what I want to do. I mean, I'm feeling happy. I'm sad, deeply sad, and it's going to be a lot worse when I see the family and we grieve together. But I'm feeling happy because Dad, Richard Walter Terry, he lived a good life, and he was slowed down a lot in his old age. But I know Jehovah, I know his personality. He will never forget the way my dad served him during his life. So it's going to be a celebration of life. And Dad, if this survives, it might. I love you, Dad. You died this morning. And we're going to try to keep you filled in about what happened when you died. Because that's probably the worst thing about dying is not knowing what's going on. We'll tell you what happened. Oh, hey, and another thing I would like to say, I would like to thank Jehovah for my dad, is I think my dad died the way he would have preferred to, relatively fast. He'd been feeling weak and tired for a long time, and when he realized the cancer drugs weren't working anymore, he stopped, and that was maybe just 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. When we saw him last weekend, he was really tired all the time. Get wiped out by the meeting, so he'd lay down, take a nap, and then then he'd be ready to go again. But he wasn't in any pain, so that was really good. And so last night, while they were getting ready to listen to the meeting through the internet at the Kingdom Hall, he collapsed on the way to the bathroom, I think. So Mom helped him up in the chair. They contacted the kids up in the Bay Area. They contacted someone at the Kingdom Hall. Nancy came over and talked with him. Paramedics came because he fell out of the bed again. They had to get him up, and they wanted to take him to the hospital. He refused, and I understand why. You don't want to go to the hospital if you can avoid it. They just helped him get to bed, and then some people stayed with him overnight. In the morning, he was coughing up blood, although I heard my mom said it was juice. Whatever. They called paramedics again and took him to the hospital. And I think, from what I understand, I haven't been up there yet, it was a pretty peaceful, quiet, blood pressure dropping, and he made known his wishes that he would not want to be resuscitated. From what Paul said in his text, it was very quiet. Paul was able to talk to him a little bit, along with Mom was able to talk to him, and then just a minute after he passed, Naomi and Rob arrived. So I think Dad would be pleased with the way it went down. You know, when your time's up, you gotta go. So I agree with that, and I thank Jehovah for that. Thank you for the death, the way it went down. That was a kindness that you allowed to happen. Thank you, Jehovah. I celebrate. And again, thank you for my dad's life.